We've all at some point in our life had a broken heart, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a friendship, whether it just be in a marriage. Regardless of what it is, we've all experienced it. And so I want to talk a little bit about all three of those situations, especially when it comes to friendships. Let's tackle that first. Friendships, we somewhat overlook that because it's a friend, right? A friend won't break my heart. Well, I'm talking about maybe you told a friend something and then they shared that information with someone else. Or maybe a friend said they would show up for you and they didn't come through. That stuff hurts. Male or female, you experience that hurt. It really digs deep into your trust, the confidence you had in that relationship. And then you don't know where to go from there. But look, I encourage you to keep going. Some friends, as cliche as it sounds, are in your life for a season. And learn from that situation. And also, what ways were you a good friend? In what ways could you have been a better friend? Dig into that as well. Because just like your heart was broken, maybe you've broken somebody else's heart as well. So let's not just keep casting upon it, because friendships take work. And friendships also require vulnerability. But the more vulnerable you are, the stronger you are. So it's okay to get your heart broken by a friend. Just pay attention to those signs and see what you can do differently. Now the next one. Let's talk about relationships. And I'll focus on romantic relationships before we get into marriage. So relationships take time, right? There's always a risk involved in a relationship. Have you ever thought about that even though you get in a relationship with somebody, you're actually always dating a stranger? Because you never 100% know that person. You just hope that you know them enough to be comfortable around them. But sometimes that person can break your heart. And breaking your heart does not always have to come with a deep intention of hurting somebody's feeling. Breaking the heart could be somebody maybe going to a different place in their life. Breaking their heart could be choosing a different profession when you thought that person was going to stay in the area. Maybe breaking their heart is, a relationship not lasting because one person was ready for long term and one person thought they were ready for long term, but it didn't work out that way. I mean, having a broken heart in a relationship has so many different variables. Of course, we could tackle the common ones such as cheating or lying. But even in those, a broken heart feels the same. I know I've done it to people and I apologize. I mean, I thought I was ready for certain relationships, but I wasn't mature enough at the time. And I had to say, look, I can't do this anymore. And I've been in situations where somebody's played with my heart just because they thought they were ready, but they ended up talking to someone else. I mean, we've been there. But one thing to remember is that even though you've had a broken heart, never forget who you are. You have to keep moving forward. Don't say that all people are like this just because of that one experience that you had with that one person. I mean, would you want somebody to put you in a box as well? I know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And plus, if you want a relationship, if that's something that you really want, a romantic relationship, getting to know somebody, and obviously moving toward marriage, then you have to be okay with the risk of being brokenhearted. The key is that there's a difference between a broken heart and a fragile heart. See, a broken heart is something that it feels like it's torn apart. But when your heart is fragile, maybe you're just a little bit more sensitive to a situation because you feel like you've been there before. But you can push forward. All I'm saying is that recognize the signs for you and recognize the signs of the person that you're dating. See if there's something that you really want to move forward with. Or are there some red flags that you are ignoring? Pay attention to that, because that way you can guard your heart respectfully. And lastly, marriage. Marriage is definitely difficult. Think about it. You have two imperfect people coming together to make an imperfect marriage. It's never going to be 100%. You're not always going to be on the same page. But the thing about marriage is that sometimes your heart can be broken in marriage and you still stay married. Whether it comes through infidelity, whether it comes through communication difficulties, whether it comes through disagreement about finances, whether it comes for some couples in jealousy, whether it comes from people having friends and the other person not having friends, whether it comes from somebody getting a promotion and you not getting a promotion. Maybe it comes from a sense of you feel lonely even though you're in a house with someone because you feel like you don't know who you are anymore. You've given so much of yourself to that person, you don't have much left. That can cause your heart to be broken. And all of those things can make a rift in your marriage. All of those things can tear you apart. I've said it before and I say it again. I advise that you get counseling, individually and as a couple. Because how in the world can your marriage work if you're not working on it yourself? It takes time and it takes effort. Marriage is not so focused on love as much as it's focused on the work to stay in love. It's real easy to be in love. It's hard to stay there. So just give it a shot. It's okay to be brokenhearted, but then communicate that to your partner. Communicate how you apologize to your partner, but also communicate how your partner hurt you. That's okay, right? This is the person you're living with, but sometimes we get so afraid to talk to this person because of past damage, past reactions, past frustrations. There is some type of post-traumatic situation where it's like, if I bring this up, he or she may respond that way. And that can result in a broken heart. And that broken heart can result in bitterness. And that bitterness will cause you all to just drift apart. So I ask that you all work on it together. More than likely, if you have a broken heart, your spouse also has one too. So just try to find a way to mend it and have those hard conversations. And you will probably have to have those conversations more than once. That's just the way it is. But regardless if your heart is broken, remember, it can always be mended. If you want more information, please visit harvestingcoaching.com. We definitely here we offer these coaching services for you. And I look forward to working with you, not just to get you where you want to be, but to keep you where you want to be. All right, take it easy.